Week 3 is going to be focused on our upper half, creating strong scap retraction and feeling what that tension should actually feel like. That way we're able to replicate it when we start going back out of the chute. The whole idea behind week 3 and maximizing our scap retraction is going to be, feeling what it feels like to actually create strong tension in our scap and our ability to hold that position for as long as we can, and what it feels like to hold that scap retraction through the back half of our throwing sequence. Your ability to throw the ball hard and true, your ability to create actual velo and use the strongest parts of your body to perform your throw is going to be a result of how hard you can hold scap retraction and how long you can hold it. Basically, when you're throwing or performing almost any movement in baseball, our ability to hold deep positions is going to be extremely important, and our ability to hold deep positions for a long period of time is also important. So you think about when you're hitting, you're trying to hold positions, maintain angles so that your swing is very compact and you can stay through the baseball. It's the same thing when we throw. We want to create scap retraction and be able to hold this position while we transfer energy through our lower half and while we let our elbow come through. All the while that I'm transferring energy through my lower half, I'm thinking to keep my upper half extremely tight. That way I don't lose any of that energy I'm creating by breaking these angles with my scaps. As soon as I break an angle within my scaps or within my arm and my ball starts to drift away from my body, either away from my head or towards the ground with a long arm action, now I'm able to apply less force to this baseball the farther that it gets from my body. And now I'm gonna have to make adjustments in order to get back behind that baseball and to stay through it. So if I can think to maintain retraction for a long time, it's going to keep everything tight to my body, and now I can apply force to the baseball for a long time and stay through my throws to create more true throws, to create more backspin, to create more velo. Another benefit of scap retraction is the whole point of getting retracted is to create tension within my upper body. So if you think about that tension like a rubber band, the harder that I stretch a rubber band, the faster that it's going to snap back together. The same things apply with my upper body and my scaps. The harder that I stretch my scaps, the harder that I create tension with my upper half, the harder that everything is going to snap back through. I want to think to really maximize my range of motion when I'm going through these drills. So getting everything as far back as I possibly can, so I can then really extend that range of motion. Farther that my range of motion is, that's farther for that rubber band to snap back, right? So again, using the rubber band analogy, if I have a small rubber band and I can only pull it so far, it can only snap back so hard. If I have a long rubber band and I can pull it much farther, now I can create a lot more tension on that rubber band and it can snap back a lot harder. So it's the same thing when we're rolling through these scap retraction drills where we're presetting everything. I want to think to maximize my range of motion so I have a longer distance to be able to snap back through my throws. So things to apply to your drills are exactly that. Thinking to hold positions for as long as you can, so don't break any angles. Once you preset, I want to think to hold that until the second that ball leaves my hand. Of course, there's going to be some variations in this. Like when you look at video, it might not look like you're actually holding positions for, the whole time, but I want to use that mental cue in order to keep me in the right spots, even if there's a little bit of variability when I'm going through it. So that's cue number 1, hold deep positions for as long as you can. Cue number 2 is going to be really try to maximize your range of motion. So just because I'm holding a position right here and I feel strong, doesn't mean that I don't have more range of motion back. So when we're presetting, try to see how far you can go with your scaps, or try to see how far you can go with your elbows, and think to get as close to touching them together on the back side of your body as you can. And that's going to help you maximize your range of motion. That's going to open up the chest. And then once the chest is open and everything's back, now I can transfer weight through my hips a lot easier, as opposed to if I'm too internally rotated. then I can't transfer energy through my hips. So go ahead, get after it.